Even the Bible tells us that when we have a setback, we should embrace the setback and learn something from it. James chapter 1 verse 2 says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing."
Bandwagon Buffs, man. Hell of a game. 2 went for 500. BWB. Bandwagon Buffs. That's right.
Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon Buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. Welcome to the Liberian Perspective. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I gotta go ahead and get into this video real quick, so that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. Well, Coach Prime called it. Coach Prime told his kids it was going to happen. The wrath is going to be coming on the internet. Just be ready for it, and don't you dare go responding to people on the internet talking trash to you. We got to take this thing and we got to laugh at sometimes, okay? If you're going to get roasted, you might as well get roasted by SNL. So let's go ahead and go to the Denver Gazette and get this story on Deion Sanders and his Buffaloes getting roasted by SNL. Let's go. Saturday Night Live roasts Deion Sanders following CU's overtime loss to Stanford. Deion Sanders has made media spots at 60 Minutes, Good Morning America, but this time a fictional Coach Prime is making the interview rounds, appearing on Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update alongside Colin Jost. The fictional Coach Prime, played by SNL regular Kenan Thompson, is a braggadocious caricature of the real-life Sanders dressed in a CU hoodie and signature sunglasses. "We just keep winning, man," Thompson said in the role of Sanders. "Every game, every minute, we winning our life." In response, Jost corrects that the Buffalo's record is in fact 4-3. The skit also pokes fun at Colorado's recent 46-43 overtime loss to Stanford, in which the Buffaloes cruised to a 29-0 halftime lead, which dissolved in the second half. The segment also included a clip from Sanders' appearance as a musical guest in 1995. With a bye week this weekend, Colorado's football program resumes play on October 28th against number 18 ranked UCLA. The Buffaloes would need 2 more wins in their final 5 games, 4 of which featuring ranked opponents, to become bowl eligible this season. Guys, as you know, it is going to be a copyright violation if I play this video. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link to the video in the description. For those of you who want to go ahead and check out the video, you can go ahead and go to the description and click on that link. I'm just kind of scrolling through it so you guys can kind of see what's going on here, and it was pretty funny. And these type of things, you have to take it lightly, and when somebody like SNL is poking fun at you, hey man, you got to take it on the chin. And you expect it to come. You expect it to happen. So listen, man, you got to take the good and you got to take the bad. That's what it's all about. These young men have to understand how to win games. Yeah, I think it was LeVar Arrington that said these kids have to stop thinking like they're already Coach Prime. What Coach Prime was able to do in his career was special. He's a special player. What I saw before halftime, and if you watch the stream with me, one of the club members, Slap Happy, Slap, what up, man? I was telling him, kept saying, I'm not celebrating yet. I'm not going to start celebrating. I'm going to wait. He was like, y'all, they're going to win. It's not that I knew that we were going to lose, but I know what it's like to count the chickens before the eggs hatch. You see what I'm saying? I follow this team very closely. I know that there's a lot of immaturity on the team. A lot of people don't like to hear constructive criticism. I know not everybody's on the same page. There's a lot of skilled players, but there's also a lot of immaturity on that team as well. I knew that when Xavier Weaver started walking in the end zone instead of just running through the play and just staying locked in, when Shador started to play around in the backfield in the first half and was taking silly sacks, I knew that that was going to cost them. Like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And I kept saying it on my live stream. I even put it in my Liberian English. I was like, my man, y'all playing style. Stop playing around. But you want to play style right now? This is not the time to be playing around. Just play the game and finish the game. That's what it's going to take. The loss was self-inflicted. All right. Sometimes you have to get out of your own way. And that's what it boils down to. And a lot of these young men have to learn these lessons. Nobody's ever going to enjoy a loss. Nobody's ever going to embrace a loss. But what are you going to do? Nobody's ever going to say, yo, I really thank God for that loss. But you have to understand what a setback does to your mental as well as your overall development. It does some good. Let me explain. While a win is great, a win doesn't teach you as much as a setback or a loss, because in a win, most people are going to be giving you high fives, pleasantries, telling you how great you are. Oh, God is blessing you right now. God is on your side. You know what I'm saying? You guys are really blessed, or you're really blessed, man. You know, you're winning right now. Even though it does happen, it's rare that when you do win, somebody's going to tell you, hey, you won, but let me tell you or show you some areas where you can improve so that you can continue to win. Even the Bible tells us that when we have a setback, we should embrace the setback and learn something from it. James chapter 1 verse 2 says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So there's always something that you can learn from a setback, because for the most part, you can be in your own way and you not even know it unless somebody else points that out. I mean, for example, a lot of people have been pointing out, hey, Harry, do this, do that. They've been giving me pointers. If you're going to be hard-headed and not make any adjustments, people will just leave you alone and just go by your way. But you can continue to pray, God, hey, God, please bless my channel. You can be praying for days and, and just asking God for things. But then God is like, hey, man, I've been sending you help. The help may not come in the pleasantries when things are going well. You got to receive the help when it comes in somebody poking fun at you. What are some of the things that you could do better? It's not always hate. I know that we throw around that word hate all the time, no matter what. Even if it's constructive, we just say, oh, you hating? Why are you hating? Sometimes it's constructive and you need to take that constructive criticism so that you can learn something from it and then apply that and win. It's cool that SNL is poking fun, but in the skit, you got the fake Coach Prime. Keaton says, man, listen, we were winning so much, I went home and I fell asleep. I came back and I was shocked with everybody. So, I mean, what does that mean? It's like the coaches took their foot off the gas. Everybody went to sleep. So what are you going to learn from this? You have to learn to finish games. Like Shador said in his press conference, you got to stay neutral. You got to stay even kill. Play the game. Finish the game. They started celebrating and feeling themselves. And I'm like, this is feeling a little weird. Stop celebrating. Stop feeling yourself. You're not there yet. It's cool for you to, if you score a touchdown, do your little watch hand and do all of that stuff. But when you start playing around and stuff like that because you think the game is over, it's only the first half. You have to play 4 quarters, not 2 quarters like this team has been doing for 7 games. You got to put it all together. We can't keep saying week after week they have not played their best football. When are you going to play your best football? After the season is over? But what they learn from this is what I'm more excited about. You have to understand what a loss like this means to these young men. It's in there now. They have to own this loss. They have to understand what this loss means. This is going to teach them a lesson that winning cannot teach them. Where you're lacking in your character, where you're lacking in your discipline, where you cannot be frustrated so much that you're pushing a player and you get a 15-yard penalty. You got to have better discipline than that. You're Travis Hunter. You're one of the leaders on this team. You are a dog on this team. We need you. When we've made a stop on defense, we cannot take that back with a 15-yard penalty. Yeah, he's jousting with you. He's throwing hands. He's probably saying some things that you don't like, but you have to keep your composure. You have to be disciplined. And you have to have that character. You have to know that if you display that kind of behavior, you're going to get a penalty. This is not your first time playing this game. You already know that. They're going to learn that lesson. We got to be grateful for these early lessons. It's not going to play that well with everybody, right? The lessons are coming for the future. We have to also understand that there are some young men on this team that only have 1 year of eligibility. They don't have a redo. They don't have a do-over button. So they have to shine now if they want to have a chance to go to the NFL. As you can see on every college team that either we play or that's playing, there's a lot of great players. Number 13 killed us. They're not just going to come calling for Deion's team. They're not just going to come and say, oh, Coach Prime, we want all of your players. That's not how this works. Recruits are going to other colleges too. So yeah, these kids have to ball out now. So the rebuilding process, the learning that we're doing from all of these losses are going to benefit the entire program for years to come, because it's building character, it's letting us understand understand that we got to finish games, but hey, it's not going to benefit some of the players that only have 1 year left and they're out of here, or some of the players that need to show for the next college that they're going to, because let's be frank, everybody's not staying on this team. Just like the Exodus, there is going to be another Exodus coming. Y'all don't like to hear that kind of stuff, but believe you me, another Exodus is coming. A lot of those who are warming the bench right now, that's not feeling the way Coach Prime is coaching, how much playing time they're getting or not getting, a lot of those kids are going to jump into that transfer portal and they're going to be out of here, and we're going to be bringing in a whole lot of new people. Those who are locked in, the dogs that are going to stay, they like what's going on, they're going to embrace the good and the bad. This is good for Colorado football. Don't take this the wrong way, but this loss is good for Colorado football. You need something like this to wake you up. You need something like this under your belt to show you who you are. What is your character? Because you can say it all day. Unless it's part of your DNA, you will never know how to respond in situations. So people can talk hypothetical all they want. You can give somebody a speech all you want. Unless they feel it and experience it for themselves, they will never understand fully on how to process what it is you are talking about. Tell your child, do not touch a hot stove. You keep telling them, and then one day they're going to touch that hot stove and burn themselves. What they take away from that is going to be different from when you were telling them, because they heard it, they kept hearing it, and they kept hearing it, but they didn't really have that experience of touching that hot stove and understanding that that burn is something else. Now they experience what it really means to finish games. Now they experience, wow, I cannot believe that we wasted an opportunity where Travis Hunter had a great game, 2 touchdowns, his first score, he finally scored in the season. All the great things that they did was wiped away by complacency. You understand that about yourself. You have some chinks in your character, you have some flaws, so now you understand, okay, you know what, I get it now. Nobody's expecting perfection, but we have to grow over time. That's what it takes for you to have a program that is a winning program, because that's how winning attitudes are developed. To develop a winning program or winning attitude, you have to take some really bad losses in order for you to get to the point where you understand in totality where you're going and how you become a champion. It's going to take some embarrassing moments. It's going to take some times where you feel like, dang, I could have handled that better. It's going to take a lot of different moments for you to really understand and refine and retune your character. It's like building muscle. When you come out the first week, it's not the same as 4 months later. You got to do things differently. There was a lesson, but if it's not a lesson learned, then the lesson is in vain. Moving forward, I believe we're going to upset some teams, and I still believe in this team. As long as they can put it all together, our future is still looking bright. All right, family, that is all the information that I have for this video. Hope you got a little something out of it, and if you did, please help this channel grow by smashing that subscribe button, but I'm going to have to leave it right there. You know who I am. I'm Harry B, and that right there was the Liberian Perspective. That's TLP Sports Club. Brah.